President Trump announced a double-sided ceasefire with Iran last night. Yeah, a double-sided ceasefire, which begs the question, what the hell is a single-sided ceasefire? It sounds like something a speech therapist makes a brat with a lisp say 10 times. Single-sided ceasefire at the seashore. So will this ceasefire hold? Maybe, maybe not. Let's be honest, this truce is as temporary as my restraining order against Taylor Swift. Bitch won't leave me alone. But even a crappy ceasefire beats a civilization ending. Of course, you would know that from the media, because when the ceasefire was announced, their story changed faster than Trey Gowdy's hairstyle. And all those yakking jackasses who called Trump a maniac for threatening destruction are now calling him a chicken for hitting the pause button. Will there be some who call it taco?
There will be some who will call it, taco. Right? Trump always chickens out, which is making way too light of it, but it is also a truth, which is that he makes giant threats that he does not follow through on.
Donald Trump just caved, backing down from his fake deadline.
This did not happen because of Congress, which barely made a whimper. This happened because of the force of the American people.
It was the Taco Tuesday of all Taco Tuesdays as our president decided not to drop the chalupa.
Nobody even understands that joke. So first, these dopes say war is bad, but now I guess peace is worse. 1 minute, Trump's a homicidal, nuke-slinging maniac. The next, he's Tim Walz, deserting the fight. So what's that tell you? Could it be that they've learned nothing in the last decade, and their hatred of Trump blinds them of any clear thinking? Or is it that they pretend they've learned nothing? It's called strategic ignorance. They pretend to know less than one does to avoid accountability for their own dumb thoughts. You see this a lot, this deliberate failure to grasp the obvious. What do you mean by biological sex? What does woke even mean? Drag queen story hour? How is that sexual? And here it is again, an obliviousness to Trump's style, which demands clarification from us, because we get it. We know that Trump is a 2-hour drive for an hour at the beach. Sure, there's too much traffic, the road's bumpy, and the AC's broken, but you've been to the beach and it's pretty awesome. Sunshine, cold beer, free hypodermic needles. But it's pointless to explain because the derangement filter still morphs reality towards one conclusion: Trump bad, even if it means contradicting themselves minutes later. Meanwhile, you and me, the people who sat back, hoped for the best, and had faith, we maintain consistency and, most important, our sanity. Which brings us to the real question. What's the right response to the same old disingenuous bad faith BS? How about so? If you respond to every Trump panic with so, you'd be right and calm every time. Trump said in a post, so. Trump threatens annihilation, so. Trump called the Ayatollah gay, so. Fact is, their existential predictions never materialize, so why bother? Every time Trump's out of sight for 2 hours, they act like he's on life support. They continued their frenzied terror with tariffs, snatching Maduro, bombing the drug boats, as if he hadn't proven them wrong with the same sequence over and over. He applies pressure using America's economic and military supremacy as leverage, and then lo and behold, the other side submits, at least for now. So despite whether this ceasefire holds, we know this: Iran's military is now as threatening as Adam Schiff in a tank top. There's no Navy, no Air Force, no political leadership, the missile stockpile, new capabilities done. Those are the deeds, none of which the whiners would undo. So instead, they focus on language. But as Trump has shown, his is the only language rogue nations understand. And if CNN or MS Now don't, I got one word for you. So? What? Welcome to tonight's guest! He's so rich, he hires Sean Hannity to wash his car. Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary. She's our favorite booth, narrowly beating Phone and John Wilkes. Fox News political analyst Lisa Boone.
We're not related.
just got back from his 30-year GED reunion. Comedian Adam Hunter. And in college, she majored in malnutrition. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor, Kat Tiff. First off, Kevin, I like the style. You look like you escaped a house fire with everything that was not on fire. Like the fireman came in and said, you got to get out of here. And you just were in your pajamas and you grabbed your grandmother's jacket.
Thank you. I look fabulous. It's ridiculous.
I didn't realize we could wear pajamas.
Listen, I've been to the studio before. It's a meat locker in here.
That's true.
That's why I'm now featuring Rabbit for the spring. I mean, it's just...
Is that really Rabbit?
It really is.
And
it's warm and fuzzy.
That's beautiful. All right, give us a big picture here. All right, you know Trump, his style and his tactics. What's going on from your head? I haven't heard anything from you on this.
So I just think, getting my head around what I just witnessed here over the last 8 weeks, the future of warfare, because outside of the guys that went in to rescue the 2 F-15 pilots, there are virtually no boots on the ground. We saw the first AI tech war. And so what this tells me going forward, let's assume the Strait gets opened up, and I think the market's thinking that way one way or another. Looks to me like there's going to be a toll very similar to the Suez Canal or the Panama Canal, and someone's going to get those dollars. I don't know how they're going to split it up. But here's the thing. What this tells me is the country with the best AI is going to start winning a lot of wars. You need precision missiles that come out of space. You need a whole lot of technology, predictive. So I'm thinking the Chinese guys, when they want to take over Taiwan, there won't be any boots. It'll just be a ton of drones flying over the ocean.
But Iran still has drones.
They still do, but this tells me we need better AI to knock out these $35,000 drones. We're spending $3 million to knock out a $35,000 drone. That doesn't work. Even I know those are bad numbers.
Yes.
Bad numbers. So I'm saying to myself, wait a sec, maybe we better beef it up and get more energy here the way the Chinese did. They did 500 megawatts last year, and it's all into AI data centers. We're not catching up fast enough with those guys. I'm worried about them. I think we've worked up this Middle East thing, I hope.
Yeah.
The next thing is in China.
All right. That's interesting. You know, if I were ever on Shark Tank, I would come out and I would go, hello, sharks. Look what I have here, Kevin. It's called a mirror.
Look.
I just came up with that. While you were talking about AI, I was thinking of ways to insult you.
That's okay, you know. If looking good is a crime, guilty.
Yeah. You are the best dressed shark. I'll give you that. All right, Lisa. The ceasefire is only temporary, but I love how the critics portray this as Trump caving after they called him a maniac before.
Right. Well, so there might be a licensing deal there for you with the drone warfare potentially. But yeah, I mean, to your point on this show, this is typical Trump fashion. It's the art of the deal. Mm-hmm. We've seen this a billion times during the first term, the second term as well. He picks the most extreme option, like we're going to end your civilization, it's over, to move them closer to him. He's done this on tariffs. He does this on everything. So you think at this point they would catch on, but to your point, they're just intentionally playing dumb because they're just, Trump Derangement Syndrome, pick the entire opposite no matter what he does.
Yeah.
Because even Obama's former Department of Homeland Security Secretary, Jay Johnson, said that the mission to rescue our airmen was even more strategic and complex than the Osama bin Laden raid as well. But to your point on the AI, what you also need is a president with a big pair of, because you need him to sign off on these types of missions.
A pair of what?
You know what I'm talking about, Greg.
Speakers?
Rabbits.
Close. Also, the only other thing I was wondering is, do you think they're going to celebrate gay pride in Iran? They have their first gay Ayatollah.
Yeah, I don't know. At Taco. Mm-hmm. It seems like something that they think works, but acronyms don't work. It's got to be a funny phrase. Taco Tuesday. I don't care.
Yeah, I know you don't. Yeah, look, I mean, we were talking about this earlier, right? It's what is there to say about this right now? I've been super confused by anybody talking about it like it's any kind of definitive end.
Yeah.
When it's not. I mean, obviously, the points that Iran came up with of what they want, that can't be it, right? Where they're saying we are going to be allowed to enrich uranium for a nuke, right? I don't want that. You guys don't want that, right? Nobody wants that. Nobody, all those things that there's a lot that we need to do in terms of negotiating because we don't want to end up obviously in a worse position than we were before we went over there. So we also don't want to keep bombing and be there forever. Bombing. I don't want that. I'm not the only one who doesn't want that. I don't think Trump wants that either. But what is there to say right now except watch, observe, see what happens? I want what's the best for the United States, and that's really all there is to say about it. We're just, we got to wait and see.
You need a thesaurus for more words to say watch.
Watch, observe, monitor the situation. I'm monitoring the situation, but
that's what everybody's gonna do. Everybody's gonna be saying, like, we need to watch it. But that's all. If you act like you know something about this, you don't.
Nobody does. Well,
Trump knows what's going on. Wait, I want to bring Adam in this because I know a lot of people, with this ceasefire, we won't see a lot of bombing unless people go to your show.
It's true. It's true. I have yet to be seized to be fired. But it's crazy. They actually call me the comedy Jesus because I once had a guy get up in a wheelchair and leave the room. But, first of all, and I like your outfit. It's like a werewolf and a pimp had a baby.
Nice. Werewolf Pimp is a Netflix series.
But as far as there's really, all these, they killed 45,000 people of their own people. And everyone's like, Trump's not doing anything.
Yeah.
And then he does something, and then it's like, oh, he's a warmonger. It's almost like there's no winning in this situation. And, look, I think opening up the strait is good because gas was also way too high. And I live in California, it was $9 a gallon. I mean, Bloods and Crips were carpooling. So I'm just happy. It was also kind of funny how, they were like, Trump needs to do something, and he kills 42 of their leaders, right? And then somebody's like, I'm the new leader. And then that guy gets blasted out. Like, if I lived there and didn't like someone, I'd be like, that's the new leader right there.
Yes.
The idea that he hasn't thought through this is, you look at how complex the mission was to capture Maduro and then also getting not one but two of our airmen behind enemy lines. The idea that he hasn't thought through the next steps for this war is just moronic. It flies in the face of reason.
Yeah. All right, kids, we're going to move on. Oh, we have a great segment coming up. It's about a school board scandal. Stick around, everybody. That was good.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.